Hello everyone, and welcome back to the DMO guide video. This is gonna be my Colosseum Hero Mode guide. I'm gonna show you how to do Colosseum Hero Mode from stage 1 to stage 17, which will give you 2,125 points, which is basically 4,250 points every single day, which is a lot of points. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the current Colosseum is data season, so if you are playing as a DPS, it's recommended to use a virus Digimon. However, of course, vaccine Digimons can still work. It's not unplayable. Your damage will be a lot less, which yeah. So let's talk about the requirement for a DPS. I would highly recommend it to have at least 60,000 plus HP. You can technically get away with less, but it's recommended to have that much with double buffs and Tree of Life to have at least 60k HP, maybe a bit more. And you also need to have a good DPS build, so normal accessories, normal DPS accessories, so 2 attack on your ring, attack speed and critical damage on your necklace, 2 critical damage on your earring, and 2 critical damage and attack on your bracelet. Of course, hit is irrelevant because you need to have a level 140 and Colosseum is still level 130, so hit is kinda irrelevant here. Obviously, you need to have your Digimon cloned, attack cloned, HP cloned, critical cloned as always, and this time you're gonna need to have your evasion cloned because of the level advantage. Even for Digimons who doesn't have a very high evasion, a perfectly cloned or close to perfect clone evasion can still let you dodge all normal attacks, which is gonna be very helpful. If support, it's very simple. You just need at least 4 hand of healing and 3 of life high. For hand of healing, you can get away with 3 high and 1 mid, which is what I have. Obviously, it will be better if you have your 4 hand of healing are high. Obviously, it will be better if all your hand of healings are high, but you technically can get away with 4 high and 1 mid. So general tips, make sure your support doesn't enter the Colosseum last, and if your support enter last, make sure one of your DPSs switch your Digimon and switch back to take aggro from the support. And generally when there are 2 bosses, make sure you are all hitting the same boss, but you can split and hit 2 at the same time, but you need to be quick. It's yeah, no big deal. If you are not gonna hit the same boss, just split. It's very simple. So yeah, let's start. First off, we have stage 1, which is gonna be Mega ChadramonDMO from EDG and Birdramon from ZDG. And this first round, there are actually a few rounds where they use special bosses or bosses from other dungeon, which is irrelevant from the current season. So this one is the same for all seasons. So same season, which was a virus season, it still had EDG, Mega ChadramonDMO, and Birdramon from ZDG. So the first 2 bosses are very straightforward. You don't need to hit the same boss. Honestly, they don't have a lot of HP. You can easily rush them. Stage 2 is gonna be Rosemon and Mirage Gaugamon. They are normal. They work the same like any Colosseum boss, like normal mode. So just kill them very quickly. No strategy here. They are just very squishy, should not be a problem. Stage 3 is gonna be Antilamon from QDG and Blossomon from BDG. They are exactly the same as the ones in the dungeon, just have different stats and higher level and stuff. Again, they are very straightforward. They don't have a lot of HP, so make sure you kill them. Something to mention here is that they both gonna use the big circle skill. So if you don't know what the big circle is, it's basically gonna be a circle skill where it's gonna target 1 or 2 of the players, and it will deal more damage the more people in the circle. Now the damage is not high, so for most people you can tank it, so it's up to you. Honestly, you can split, someone do Antilamon, other one do Blossomon, doesn't really matter. They don't have a lot of HP, so they should not be a problem. Stage 4 is gonna be Mirage Gaugamon Burst Mode and Rosemon Burst Mode. Both are 2 normal Colosseum bosses. Just kill them very quickly, nothing crazy here. And as stage 5, it's gonna be Garudamon from ZDG and Marine Devimon from EDG, and Marine Devimon will also use the big circle, and Garudamon will just have circles on the ground. You can't dodge it or not. Honestly, doesn't matter. Both don't deal that much damage and don't have a lot of HP. Stage 6 is gonna be Gankomon and Rosemon Burst Mode or normal Rosemon. Doesn't matter, both are normal. So just defeat them. It's still early stages, so they aren't very hard. If you are struggling at this point, I don't think you can make it to 17. Next is gonna be the first somewhat hard stage, which is gonna be stage 7 with Mihiramon and Magiramon, both from QDG. So if you are using vaccine Digimon, your damage is gonna be a little bit low. So these 2 are still kinda simple because their HP is not that high, so you can easily rush them. But for this one, you gonna target Mihiramon, the tiger one. Make sure you guys are stacking because he's gonna be using the small circle. So if you don't know what the small circle is, it's the opposite of the big circle. It's gonna be a smaller circle and it will target 1 member, and the more people in the circles, the less damage you take. So you all gotta stack and kill Mihiramon first, and then after that you kill Majiramon. They use the same skills as QDG, so you can, I guess, try to, you don't need to like dodge it and stuff, just easily tank it. It's not that much damage, so yeah, just honestly defeat them and move on. Stage 8 is gonna be Alumon and Placemon, which both are two normal bosses. And then we move on to stage 9, which is where most people die. You will have two Fenixmon, which are the ones from ZDG. So Fenixmon, for a start, you make sure you are hitting one Fenixmon. Do not touch the other Fenixmon until you kill the first one. Fenixmon have two skills. One is just normal AoE damage, which you will see that text says Fenix makes dangerous aura. This is just big AoE damage, nothing too crazy with the debuff. But the other one, which is Phoenix's power covers all around the place, is a crazy skill. This gives you 1, 2, or 3 debuffs. Degeneration decreases attack, and Silence, which prevents you from using skills. And the most dangerous and one of the hardest debuffs in the game is Return, which makes you take 50% of the damage you deal to Fire Attribute Digimon. Fenixmon obviously is a Fire Attribute Digimon, so if you hit him, you will take 50% of the damage you deal, so you basically will one-shot yourself. So for this, you need to have a really good timing. So basically, you just need to be careful when he uses the first skill, which is Fenix makes dangerous aura. Make sure you are ready to click away. So when you see the text Fenixmon's power covers all around the place, you should be really not attacking. So when he uses the first skill, you just click away. Now make sure to click away using the mouse cursor. Do not use WASD because it doesn't really work that well. Make sure you are clicking away with your mouse. And the other thing is that for the main DPS or the tank, the one that's doing the most amount of damage, make sure to not run away. If you run away, there is a bug in the game where your other hitters will not be able to stop attacking, which means if they get the return debuff, they will one-shot themselves, which is not good. So for your tank, make sure you're not running away. You just need to click away and then move back near the boss. And of course, for each debuff, he will summon mobs, and both correspond to different debuff. For the return, you just need to kill Hawkmon. Generally, we don't really bother with the other debuffs. You just kill Hawkmon and then attack Fenixmon again and ignore the other debuffs. Now, depending on your party, we can rush the first Fenixmon and then slowly kill the other one. Obviously, after the first one, you will have your F3 on cooldown. Your Tamer skills like Berserk or Ryu skill will be on cooldown. So if you are still dying or if you think it's too hard, he is the same as the one in ZDG. So you can go to ZDG and you can practice it. Yeah. After that, it's honestly just an HB check, to be honest. Stage 10 is gonna be normal Daftomon, just normal boss, defeated, nothing too crazy. And stage 11 is Prince Mamon and another Daftomon. Again, both are very normal Colosseum bosses, deals away damage and stuff, nothing too crazy. Now, stage 12, however, is where you need to stop. If you still have the debuff from Fenixmon, you need to wait for it, because stage 12 is gonna be Dynasmon and Lord Nightmon from Real Base. For some reason, this Dynasmon is Fire Attribute, and the debuff from Fenixmon makes you take more damage from Fire Attribute Digimon. So if you still have this debuff, you will take a lot of damage. So just wait for the debuff and then start. So for this one, you need to kill Dynasmon first, and both Dynasmon and Lord Nightmon will be using the small circle skill. So the more people in the circle, the less damage you take. So you all gotta stack and hit Dynasmon. And both raids will be using the silent skill. So this round will be slower than normal. Honestly, nothing too crazy here. There's no skills that you need to dodge. You just honestly just stack and kill them. Make sure your support is healing you and stuff. Nothing too crazy here. Just make sure your support are staying away so he doesn't die, which is just what happened here. So for this round, our support died, which is, I would say, a good opportunity for this video so I can actually show you how to support. So as I said, for a support, you need to have at least 4 Hand of Healing and 3 of Life. And you can see Hand of Healing have a pretty long range. As you can see, I'm staying very far away from the bosses, and I can easily heal my teammate without being anywhere near them. So yeah, this is just, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to support. Just keep switching Digimon, use your Hand of Healing, and make sure they have the Tree of Life on them at all time. Just very straightforward. And yeah, just make sure you are far away, and if that happens, if you have a backup support and your support dies, which shouldn't be a thing that happens a lot, but if it happens, make sure after you switch to your support, one of the DPSs switch back so your support doesn't get aggro. So now stage 13, as you saw, is just Rafflissimon and Igstramon, 2 normal bosses. Stage 14 is also 2 normal bosses, Dino Tigermon and Lotusmon. Again, these normal bosses are just HB check. That's all it is really. And stage 15 is gonna be the hardest one so far, which is Examon and Craniumon from Real Base. Nothing too crazy here other than they just deal a lot of damage. Examon specifically just deals a lot of damage. No strategy here other than you just stack, similar to Dynasmon and Lord Nightmon, and use your skills at the start because they will both be spamming their silence, which is gonna prevent you from using skills. So this is gonna be a bit painful because they have a lot of HP, they deal a lot of damage. So yeah, it's just a DPS check. If you have the requirements that I said, you know, at least 60k HP and evasion, it should not be a problem. It's just gonna take a pretty long time. Stage 16 is gonna be Rosemon and normal Dynasmon, not the Dynasmon from Real Base. It's just a normal Colosseum boss, so nothing too crazy. You can stack and kill the same boss, or you can split and each hit the same boss. Of course, if you're wondering why we split, it's because some AoE skills like Alphamon Awaken would want to use Roll of Space. Of course, it's an AoE and you don't want to attack the two raids at the same time. If you don't attack the other raid, he will not be using the skills, so you basically will not be taking any damage from the other boss if you don't attack it. So if you attack it with an AoE skill, then you will take damage from it, which is not good. You don't want to take 2 damage from 2 raids at the same time, so you can either split or just hit the same boss and make sure you don't use AoE skills. And then finally stage 17, which is gonna be two Conmons. They are very normal, just 2 normal Colosseum bosses, nothing too crazy. If you made it here, then you can, if you already made it to here, then just honestly pretty easy. And yeah, that's it. Stage 18, if you're wondering what it is, it's gonna be Skull, Miramon and Majorismon from the Tokyo Laiba dungeon, so that's not fun. It's possible obviously, but I'm not gonna bother with that. So yeah, that is the guide. Honestly, it's not too hard, it just needs high stats, no crazy strategy or anything, just literally stats check. If you have enough HP, you'll just survive. Very straightforward. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you leave it down in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe for more demo content. I will see you guys in the next video.